Tareen yesterday was admitted to hospital in emergency. Uh, he has called me also twice, but I have not been able to reply to him. But I got the message that he had some problem and he asked you to make dua, special dua for him. Inshallah, we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him good health and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return him to us in the masjid with a good health as he had. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. اللهم إنا نسألك الأمن والأمان والعفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم اشفي امتياز ترين شفاء كاملا عاجلا. رب الناس أذهب الباس واشفي أنت شافي لا شفاء إلا شفاء شفاء لا يغادر سقما. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيه. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفي امتياز ترين شفاء كاملا إن شاء الله. رب الناس أذهب الباس واشفي أنت شافي لا شفاء إلا شفاء شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. The hadith for today has been brought forward by Imam Muslim, and the narrator is Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. عن أبي هريرة عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من نفس عن مؤمن قربة من قرب الدنيا, whoever removes a worldly grief from a believer, نفس الله عنه قربة من قرب يوم القيامة, Allah will remove from him one of the griefs on the day of judgment. من يسر على موسر يسره الله عليه في الدنيا والآخرة, and one who makes easiness and relief for a person who is in difficulty, Allah will make easiness in this world and also in the next world. ومن ستر مسلما ستر مسلما ستره الله في الدنيا والآخرة, and one who covers up a Muslim, Allah will cover him up in this world and also in the hereafter. Allah fi awni al-abd ma kana al-abdu fi awni akhihi, and Allah will help his slave so long as the slave helps his brother. Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman, whoever follows a path to seek knowledge therein, Sahalallahu lahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah, Allah will make easy for him a path to paradise. وَمَجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ فِي بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ, and when people get together in one of the houses of Allah, يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَيَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُمْ, reciting the book and studying it among themselves, إِلَّا نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ, there is tranquility descending upon them, وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ, and mercy envelops them, وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ, and the angels surround them, وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ, and Allah mentions them to those around him, that is the angels, the higher angels. وَمَنْ بَطَّ بِهِ عَمَلُهُ, Lam yusre bihi nasabuhu. Whoever is left behind by his deeds, he will not be hastened by his nasab, his lineage, his race or family, clan, dynasty. That will not make him go ahead. In this hadith, the Holy Prophet has mentioned four things. One is the spirit of brotherhood. The other is attaining knowledge. The third is reciting and studying the Holy Quran. And the fourth is that it is the deeds that will take a person higher up and not his lineage or nasab. And the Prophet says that any brother who removes the grief from another brother, a person is in grief, he is ill, he has a little sickness, his child is sick, he has lost something, his crop has been washed away, or his business is down, he has a car accident, so and so forth. He's in a grief, he's in a pain. And you come along and say, and give him a pat on the back, it's all right, it happens in life. This is not the end of the world. Allah is with you. These things happen. تِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلْهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Come on, get up. Shed this sorrow. Come, let's have some food. Let's go outside. You'll feel better. I'll try to help you. Don't worry, these things do come. But inshallah, Allah will do good to you. So you are relieving the grief of your brother. You may not do much. You can do it if you can. But you are at least alleviating his grief so that he is in little comfort. Secondly, he said, he provides easiness to his brother who is in difficulty. He doesn't have a pen, he wants to write, you give him the pen. He's going in the rain, he doesn't have an umbrella, come and share. I'll take the umbrella, you take the umbrella over him. You are relieving him. Similarly, he doesn't have clothes, you give him clothes. He doesn't have food, you give him food. He's short of money, you give him a loan. So you are making easiness for your brother who is in a little difficulty. Thirdly, he covers up. He makes a shield of his brother. That is, there are always shortcomings in everybody's life. Everybody has his shortcomings. Maybe somebody is angered easily, maybe somebody has some other thing. And you are standing with somewhere and somebody says that that person, he is from a poor family. And you say, what if he's from a poor family? I have met him. He's a nice person. He's good at heart. And that he's intelligent. I've seen that he's a very knowledgeable person. So you cover him up. His shortcoming is covered up. Similarly, somebody says that that person made a very wrong statement. And you said, yes, he made a statement. Maybe he was a little disturbed. Maybe he had a quarrel with his wife. Maybe his blood pressure shot up. I have seen him. He's not such a person. He's a nice person. But at times, one does get a little different and he may have, the statement may have slipped from his mouth. So you are trying to cover up. Similarly, there is a blame on your brother, but you try to cover up. No, he's not of that kind. I've been with him. He has been living beside me. He's not of that kind. You're trying to cover him up. So the Prophet says, whoever covers up, whoever helps, whoever eases his brother or removes a grief, Allah will remove his grief. Allah will help him, not only here, but also in the hereafter. So this is actually creating brotherhood. And what he is giving these examples, He is giving the examples of brotherhood. That Muslims are brothers. They may have different races, they may have different countries, they may have different faces, they may have different colors, they may have different families, but they are brothers. And the Holy Prophet has said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. The Mu'mineen are brothers. And he gave three examples. The one example was that the Muslim Ummah is like a body. If there is pain in the finger, it has its effect on the whole of the body. And you feel the pain in your whole body. So if there is a brother who has a pain, the community, the brother community will have the pain inside their heart. Similarly, it's like the Muslim Ummah is like a building made of bricks. So every brick is a Muslim. So they get together, they form a very building, and that is very strong. Similarly, he gave an example that he opened his fingers and he said, Muslim Ummah is like this. He crossed his fingers and said, they are strengthened when they are brothers. Then he says, Kuna ibadallah ikhwana. O Muslims, you be brothers and the slaves of Allah. Al-Muslimu akhul Muslim. A Muslim is the brother of a Muslim. La yazlimuhu, wa la yakhzuluhu, wa la yaksibuhu, wa la yahqiruhu. Four things he mentioned. A Muslim brother does not oppress the other, is not cruel to his brother. Similarly, he does not leave him alone. You are helping him, and at once you take away your hand, you leave him alone, you try to fail him, or you let him down. So he doesn't let his brother let down or leave him. Wala yaksibu. He does not lie to his brother. Wala yahqiruhu. He does not look to his brother with contempt, that there is hatred in his heart, or he is looking down upon him and considers himself to be a little higher up. Similarly, the Prophet says the blood, the property, and the honor of a Muslim is haram on any other Muslim. He should respect his honor, he should respect his property and his life. There was a famous writer known as H.G. Wells, and he was a historian, a fiction writer, and he wrote a book, a short history of Islam, and in which he mentions that as far as human fraternity, equality, and human freedom is concerned, so these sermons were given by many people. And such a sermon we also find in the sermons of Isa alayhi salam, Jesus. But it must be admitted, he says, that the only person who based a society on these principles, it was only Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So although he's a Christian, but he says that the society built on freedom, brotherhood, and equality, it was only done by the Holy Prophet. The second thing the Prophet is mentioning, that who gets the knowledge, Allah will ease his way to Jannah. Now the knowledge can be of dunya as well, the knowledge of the world, scientific knowledge, but what he mentions here is the knowledge of deen. Because with the knowledge of deen, one has guidance in life. He knows what should be his faith. How should he practice obeying Allah? How should he have his manners and behavior and attitude? So on and so forth. So actually knowledge gives guidance to a person, how to lead a life. And in one of the hadiths, the Holy Prophet says that man ja'ahu al-maut wa huwa yatlubu al-ilma liyuhyiya bihi al-islam bainahu wa baina nabiyyin darajatun wahidatun fi al-jannah. That if the death comes to a person when he is in the state of seeking knowledge, and that knowledge is also to make alive Islam, liyuhyiya bihi al-islam, so that with his knowledge he can make alive Islam. That is, Islamic teachings are very rare in a society, And he wants that Islamic teachings should flourish. That is making alive Islam. As you see, there is no rain and everybody is down, even the crops and the ants and the persons and the birds. And as soon as the rain comes, everything becomes alive. So if there is knowledge flowing, so everybody is practicing according to the principles of Islam. So he wants to make Islam alive and he is seeking knowledge, but in that time, death comes to him. وَبَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ النَّبِيِّينَ دَرَجَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ فِي الْجَنَّةِ. The Prophet says that in Jannah, there will be a difference of only one grade between him and the prophets. So that is the importance of seeking the knowledge. And the Holy Prophet says that an alim has a superiority over an abid. An alim is the person who has the religious knowledge, and abid is who prays day and night. So he is an abid. And he says an alim has a superiority over an abid as I have a superiority on any one of my companions. So that's the difference of an alim and an abid and the importance of seeking knowledge. The third thing he says is that when people get together in any one of the houses of Allah, say for example the Masjid, just to recite Quran and to understand Quran, then there is tranquility sent down in their hearts and the mercy of Allah envelops them. And the third thing he says that the angels surround them and Allah mentions their name. Look at my people, they are reading my book, they are reciting my book, they are trying to understand it. And he mentions this proudly to the Mala'ala, the higher angels that are around him. As the Holy Prophet says, Huwa hablullahi al-mateen. He says about the Quran that this is the strong rope of Allah. Huwa hablullahi al-mamdood min as-samaa ila al-ardh. This is the rope which is tightened from the sky to the earth. In one hand, it is with Allah, and in one hand, it is with you. And surely this is the rope of Allah. وَهُوَ الصِّرَاطُ الْمُسْتَقِيمُ. And surely this is the right path. And in other hadith he says, خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَ. The best amongst you are those who learn and teach Quran. So they are the best people. So that is seeking knowledge as well as reciting and understanding the Holy Quran. And as you know, that there is one companion, Musab bin Umair, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and the whole Prophet sent him to Medina before he went himself. A year earlier, he sent Musab bin Umair that you go and there are certain people in Medina who have brought Islam, you go and teach them Quran. So he went there and he belonged to a very rich family. And he went there and he was called Mukri over there. Whenever he came, the people said, Jal Mukri. The teacher has come to us. The teacher has come to us. Who will make us understand Quran. So for 1 year, he and another companion, they went there and they taught Quran to the people. And in 1 year, the number of Muslims, they rose from 12 to 70. So that was a great achievement. And this Musa bin Umair, he got the Shahada in the battle of Uhud. And it was a very bad sight for the Prophet to see him, a man of very rich family, and he was martyred. His eyes were taken out, his ears were cut, his nose was cut by Hinda, and his stomach belly was opened, and the liver was chewed up. So he said, put Musab in the grave, and the cloth that had to cover the coffin was very short. The Sahaba asked, what should we do with it? He said, cover up his face and his body and put some grass on his feet. And that was the last clothes that was worn by Musa bin Umair, a person who used to teach Quran to his brothers, but he has a great a very high reputation before the eyes of Allah, and he will be rewarded surely by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's my desire that the young people, our kith and kin, our sons, they adopt a career of Musab bin Umair. You know, today we look at the worldly career. When I grow up, I'll be a scientist. When I grow up, I'll be a businessman. When I grow up, I will have all these riches of the world. This is the career that is being adopted everywhere. But anybody who thinks that my career will be Musab bin Umair, he is the person that I'll follow. I'll teach Quran. خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. The best amongst you are those who learn and teach Quran. That should be the objective and aim of the youth, that they should learn Quran, they should teach Quran, they should learn Arabic and do the recitation and the teachings and the fahm of Quran. So that is the best of the careers. The last thing that he said was that anybody who is left behind by his deeds will not be hastened by his nasab, the lineage. That anybody says that I belong to such and such family, I belong to such and such dynasty, and my clan is such and such. So these things will not help him. These are only for so that he is recognized in this world. As you know, that Firaun also had a dynasty. Firaun was not a single person, that was a dynasty. There were many Firauns. Similarly, the Nimrods, they were a dynasty, it was a clan. And many people came under the clan. So everybody has a clan, everybody has a family, everybody has a dynasty. But that means only for the recognition in this world. Not that this will take you ahead. And the angels will say, oh, Mr. So-and-so of that family, why are you standing behind in the row? Come on, you come ahead. You have to go to the paradise because you belong to that such and such clan. Nothing doing. He said, it is only the deeds will take him ahead. It's the manners, behavior, the attitude, the faith that he does. That will hasten him ahead, not his clan or his lineage. May Allah Ta'ala guide us to the right path, and may Allah Ta'ala give us the courage that we may be steadfast by. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.